You've given us so much to digest and to think about. It just makes us feel like that there's so much we've been doing right, obviously, because everybody we've been progressing in our careers, but there's so much we can do. And we take tidbits away. And I think just like that story that you had with that three-star general, I'm hoping that this podcast is something that people can really significantly take away what you're talking about. And to that point, I want to ask you, what is the single takeaway that you want the audience to have from this? If there's one thing that you want us to take away, what would that be?
I can't answer that singularly. If I can I offer two takeaways?
Absolutely.
First, I talk about passion for mission accomplishment or getting the job done based on the strategic vision that the leadership within an organization imparts to those who are actually doing the work. So, passion for mission accomplishment. I mean, you can't fail, especially in the military, you can't fail, or huge geopolitical and fiscal complications. But from a company perspective, you don't want to fail. You want to continue to make money. You want to continue to take care of your people. You want to grow your products. You want to innovate. You want to grow as an organization, as a company. And that really, in business, that's the bottom line. Increase revenue, decrease waste, increase production, innovate. But then there's the other side of the coin for informed leaders of compassion for the people that are actually doing the work. You can have slave labor like they do in China, where everybody goes in there, they're beaten if they don't perform, and their families are eradicated, just all the badness that you hear. And then there's a knee jerk to over compassion where you don't really hold people standards of high performance. You just let people get away with it. Bottom line there is that your ROI goes in the toilet. So, how do you come to grips with balancing the passion for the mission accomplishment and the compassion for the people that are actually doing the work? And a very good friend of mine who also retired as a three-star, in fact, he was the one who I relinquished command of the aircraft group. He came up with a really good way to capture it, and it's mission first, people always.
Mm.
And if you understand that you have to get the job done, or why even try, but in the process of getting that job done, you have to take care of the people. And by taking care of the people, it's giving them, it could be the training, the skill sets, whatever the case may be. It could be the time off. It could be taking care of their families, really being interested in them, giving them the personal, professional development. So there has to be that balance between passion and compassion. The second thing, I say that leadership is a participation sport. All too often, we see senior leaders within an organization that are just spectators. They're along for the ride. They think that their job in life is to do the big decisions and let everybody else figure it out. Well, no. And that goes back to what we talked about earlier. I'm not going to get on a commercial airliner or a ship that doesn't have a captain of that vessel that's driving it in a direction that's predetermined and established. You have to be active leaders. And that means that you have to know every aspect. You don't have to necessarily be the duty expert on everything, but you have to know every aspect about every element of the organization that you're in charge of. And if you don't, then that's a problem. And the only way to do that, in my opinion, is for each individual at every level to seek self-improvement. Every day I learn more and more and more. And sometimes I go, oh my goodness, Patty, what were you thinking? Things I thought were perfect years ago that I did on retrospection now, I look and I go, what was I thinking about back then? So hopefully I can impart to other people some of the mistakes I made, some of the shortcomings that I've had, the lessons learned, and build that together with the formal academic thing. So commit to learning and growing yourself and commit to creating a culture within the organization that allows people to learn and grow and help others to attain that personal and professional development, that growth. Invest the time and effort in people, and it'll pay huge dividends in the long run.